could introduce you and your role there at Ryan's Service Center would be great, right? And so happy to have you here today.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me. Yeah, so basically I'm just like the service manager, so I take care of like the whole front counter, just writing tickets, that kind of stuff.
Right. You make it sound day to day, but really you're the heart of the organization. We all know it, right? You bind together the whole team, your customers, and meanwhile you got to turn a profit, right?
Yeah, it's just another day. Just another day in paradise.
There it is, and we hope to get that a vacation sometime. So summer's. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day for us today to share.
Thanks for having me.
Matthew, would you like to introduce your role? I know we have customers on a call who've interacted with you. It's a great chance to see you today, and thanks for everything you do.
Yeah, I'm glad to be joining this. So I help manage all the accounts. So whenever, we bring on a new shop, I'm talking with the service teams, the owners, I'm helping train them, understand how to use Facepay, helping to connect that with their existing workflow, and then making it a success month by month.
You're just like Jourdan. You make it sound so easy, but I know you spend a lot of time with the customers, and much of it's me. What we talk today is what are the small things we can do with Express that have big business impact that make your end customers happy, right? So that's pretty awesome. What I'd like to do is maybe Matthew, I know you're driving the slides today. If you could share the first slide is orientate everyone with Express, and then I'd love to come back to Jourdan and you, Matthew, and talk about a little bit. So the reason I want to focus on Express, and a lot of you know, right, and we're comfortable with Facepay. I'll just share with you, I'm founder of the company, and we set out a mission, right? Because you work so hard as a team, and what you don't want to do is pay fees and added expense. So we started a mission around payments, but the rewarding side is I was just at the ATI super conference in Puerto Rico. I was just hearing from how many shops, right, about how you made it easier for customers. And then when you save money, we have so many shops using that money and turning around into employee benefits or giving it to charity out in your communities that you interact with every day. So it's really got to be rewarding. And it made us think over the last year as we listen to customers and all these shared experiences. So what Facepay is really doing, because we made it easy for customers, is actually making it more convenient and elevating your shops. Right. And I just modeled one type of workflow here, and every shop's different, from being able to have customers drop off their vehicle. I talked to the shop yesterday, and they have a 1, 2, 3 process. And step 1 is pull up outside and honk. Right. Is literally on their website, right? Is their check-in. I thought you get customers come and they love that, right? So it's in your workflow, but it goes everything through drop off to educating those on what's going on with their orders, the repair orders. You send a message for approval, and from how do you get your car back? Do you have it in time for the weekend, right? This is your workflow, and Express is designed to work around workflows. And that's why I wanted to spend the time talking with Jourdan. So if we could go back to take up the slides, Matthew, and just talk about workflow. And the whole mantra of Express is just making it easy for customers. What they value the most, right, is their own convenience. So
Yeah,
Jourdan,
absolutely.
I'd love to hear about your experiences with Express and convenience, right? Maybe we start customers first. So
Yeah, our customers do love using it because, like I said, a lot of them do work while we're here. So a lot of them can't pick up while we're working. So it's just convenient to just pay through Express, and then now you can just text a code to them as soon as they accept the payment. So you just call them, tell them their car's done, and then just let them know you're getting a text, and it'll send it right through. They'll just approve the amount, and then as soon as they approve it, they'll get their lockbox combination, and then they're good to go.
So you have after hours pickup options with the lockbox. They could go there during the day, obviously, but after hours as well. So.
Yep, it just adds to the convenience, because a lot of times people don't feel comfortable giving their credit cards over their phone. And if they're working, sometimes they just don't feel comfortable giving their credit card number at work. So it's just convenient. You could just send a text message, they accept it, and then they're done.
And it's kind of the way we go out and we visit our own restaurants, retail and so forth. It's this convenience that we're getting used to that you just gave them, right?
Yeah, exactly. And like I said before, we just started the 3.5% charging on the credit cards. So it gives them an alternative to pay if they can't bring cash, if they can't be here in time, and they'll just do it that way.
It's interesting. You just touched on, and for Matthew, you talk about customers, right? And you just touched on two big points on the back end side. One is when they don't want to use credit card to pay over the phone, but the other side, if they do, you have chargeback risk, right? Because there's no security validation on that, right? Where Facepay will guarantee those payments.
Yeah,
But the one is this option, alternative or option of surcharging that they love, and we understand why, right? And that's our whole mission is credit cards have fees, right? And it's in a business, and that's why you surcharge. But it's nice having this option.
yeah, definitely. It's nice to be able to give the customers options too, so they can kind of choose what they want to do.
What's interesting is, and you feel your shop when you have these options, right? One part of your shop obviously is fulfill good service, and that's why they come to you. Second is you're going to build a relationship with them just by being positive like you are today. That's great. And you educate customer. But the third one is making it really easy for them, right? That's what they value and they come in. Right?
Yeah, yep. And we do a lot of like pickups for police officers in towns. We do like the teachers at the schools, and we'll just go to the school, pick up their cars and drop them off before they leave for the day. So it's just convenient to be able to they don't even have to call. We could just go there, pick it up, and they'll just send the text message. It'll be paid for. We don't even have to talk to them anymore.
Well, I wish you were in my neighborhood, right? But nice that you do it for the police, fire departments, and first responders, right? They're the ones who need the help, right? They give you insight. But that's interesting is when we talk with other customers about Express, we talk about convenience after hours, concierge service, Express checkout. Maybe Matthew, you could talk about those a little bit when you work with new shops coming on board or call into them.
Yeah, so whenever I talk with new shops, the thing that always stands out the most is customers returning back to the shop, giving them their business again and becoming loyal. One of the deciding factors there is really the convenience to the customer. So when the shop is able to then provide a way that the customers can connect to their shop and then be able to pay while providing more convenience for them, it's a win-win, because then before they even come into the shop, they can already know they're going to receive the link to connect to the shop. Then they can do that on their own time after they drop off their vehicle. And then when it comes time to pick up their vehicle, as Jourdan said, then they have an option to be able to pay without actually having to be there. So then they can come get the vehicle whenever is most convenient for them. So it's really just providing them with the option to do what's most convenient.
It's convenient for them, keeps them coming back. It's one of these pillars, right? Do you remember if we shift gears a little bit? Because Express, first of all, is all of us have the same goal, right? To serve your customers better, right? That's what we all aspire. And I'm glad we could be part of that at Express. Could we turn down a little bit, just talk about Jourdan, in your role, and Matthew, what you find from service teams? Because what I hear is they save a couple hours a week, right? Because they can close out tickets. And I'd love to just explore, Jourdan, how it is for you and your other advisors for working inside of Express to be able to close tickets and to actually use the product. So
yeah, it's actually really convenient. When the customer is like added to the DVI, Auto Vitals will send a text that says like, welcome, here's the link for Facepay or Express if you wanted to sign up. And then I'll get a text message and an email saying like so-and-so signed up. And then once I send the text message for them to pay, I'll get a text message and an email, and then I'll just get like the notification. And then I can just finalize the invoice from there. It's just super simple. And it's just convenient that I get like all of the notifications on top of it.
So you don't even, right, so as I know about Facepay and Express, is we provide a dashboard, but you just touched on, you have to go there. You out of Vital sending out for you and check in the text and email. And then
Yeah.
you're taking payment. You didn't mention, I believe you use Tech Metrics, right? You just accept the form of payment right inside of Tech Metrics, right?
Yeah, I made a separate payment for Facepay, so I could just click that it was paid with Facepay, so I can keep track of all of that. And then I also have, Matt sent me like a text that I can send through Tech Metric as well. So I really don't have to use the dashboard at all. But I mean, it's there if I need it.
There, it can be easier, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Customers automatically notified, sign up, and you take payment, right? And again, the whole goal of us doing those two is to provide those convenience options, right? A concierge after hours pickup, and when you take the payment, you put the pickup code right in there, so it all ties together.
Yeah, exactly. And it's funny because when you first started doing the pickup thing, which is like a recent thing, I believe, I talked to Matt about it to see how it was working. But every time you have like a new feature, I just go in through the account that I made through Facepay, and I just do it. Like I'll charge myself $1 just to see like what the customer is seeing. That way I can explain it better to them.
So you see what they see on their side and go, this is
Yeah.
what your lockbox code will be after you pay. Oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
exactly. Yeah, and it's as soon as you accept the payment, it'll send you like the lockbox. It'll tell you what your code is, where to pick it up from. It's neat.
Because we all know no more leaving the keys under the mat anymore. Right? So, as tempting as it is, you just can't anymore. Matthew, how about you interact with service teams from other shops? Do you find similar to Jourdan or anything to add to that? What do you find?
Yeah.
Mix?
So what I really hear is that usually their most busy service teams, afternoons and evenings, especially later on in the week, like Thursday and Friday is usually when they're most busy because they're just trying to close out as many tickets as possible. They're trying to get as many customers, like coordinate with them for when they're going to get their vehicles and how they're going to pay. So again, having this where then customers can sign up ahead of time and then be able to pay remotely, especially if they're going to then pick up their vehicles, in the evening after the shop closes, the service teams don't want to have to wait around or spend extra time in the shop worrying about that. So then having this option is great because then it can save them time when they're most busy so that they can focus on the most important things, which is, providing customers with the service that they come back to the shop for.
I can't get the song out of my head. Lover boy working for the weekend, right? So
Yeah.
we all are. And Jourdan, you could validate, right? You're in the grind Thursday and Friday, getting right your customer, if it can be done, they want their vehicle done by the weekend, right?
They want it done the day before they bring it in.
Want it done yesterday, right? Yeah. So, well, I just share with you, many people know I own my own aircraft. And better believe I'm getting it Fridays. I can have it weekend, right? Same thing, right? So we all want it. But it's interesting, Matthew, as you touched on, is you introduce Express when customers check in, they have, while it's being serviced, to be able to complete that check-in process for the account. So you're able to close it out, save the time on your side, but get the vehicles back to those customers. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, because then it's essentially, with what Jourdan does, where they send the text to pay to the customer as well, then the customer is the one who's then, creating the account on their own time and paying on their own time before they get their vehicle. So then that serves up all the time for the service team, as we're talking about. So then by the time the customer comes in, they don't actually have to worry about how they're going to collect payment. And if it is during hours, then they can just give them the keys and paperwork and be on their way. And that whole process is, really smoothed over rather than having to have that, awkward conversation when they're coming in.
Jourdan, are you able to take that? And if we translate it to, Ryan's Service Center, you take payment inside of Tech Metrics. And then you're able to close out tickets right there and have it ready for customers,
Yeah.
right? Leaving their vehicles or they're at the shop if they come in.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's a lot more convenient. We do have some customers that use Facepay, and they'll come in while we're here, and I already know that they're going to use it, so I'll do exactly what you just said. You'll print it out before they even get here. All I gotta do is hand them the keys and the paperwork, and they're on their way.
And that's all we ever wanted, right? It seems so simple right now. It's all we ever wanted, right? Get
Yeah.
it out of the way. What's interesting, and I ask you both opinion about it, because I'm starting to interact with a number of ATI shops now and subscriptions, right? And if you heard me talk at the super conference, what I talked about there is if you make it easy for customers during your current service, that builds the trust. They'll sign up for a subscription, right, for vehicle maintenance, because they know they can get back into you easily and get their vehicles back. That's what we want on a subscription service, right? And how does that resonate with you, Jourdan? Does that feel right then, that we offer convenience, that it helps with customer loyalty, building repeat business?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like you said, it's the convenience of doing it. They already know how they're gonna pay. They already know that it's taken care of. They don't have to worry about getting a ride. They don't have to worry about all the like minor things that anybody else would worry about when they're getting their car worked on. Like you have to worry about when the dealership opens, closes, that kind of thing. And here you don't have to worry about it because we can use things like Express Pay and the after hours pickup and everything like that.
Mhm. I'm gonna call you because we call Facepay, right? And expresses the offering. And I'll share with you, Jourdan. I think it's the first time we had a chance to discuss talk about everybody on a call, right? Is when we work with shops, when your customers come in, what you're selling is convenience, express options. And Facepay is actually white labeled, right? And your customers don't know it's Facepay. Just like you wouldn't tell them I'm going to send a text from Auto Vitals, right? They just
Yeah.
they're going to get a text. So the express is coming from you, and the best thing you can do, you touch on it, you focus on those options. And this is something and why Express came out, because Facepay is different company than we were a year ago, right? Not by name, but what we learned, right? And we learned is if you try to sell Facepay, people don't want to sign up for something else, right? And then they get confused if to download an app or not, right? And we said, no, actually, what we learned is it's making things more convenient for you. That's what you're actually selling from your shop or adding to their experience. So you touch on exactly what we're building at a company, right? Is to make sure it's the express stuff you're offering. And our company's called Facepay because it's the final pillar. We're not going to get too far in today. Is the benefit to your shop, right? That you're already seeing at Ryan Servicenter is every customer goes through this process,
Yeah.
not only more convenient, but every payment's 15% more profitable, right? And you convert those customers over by doing the right thing, providing them options, allowing them to get their vehicles in a lockbox, but your shop becomes more profitable, right? And that's what the ATI shared experience. All the members want to drive to profitability, run their shops better because they can turn around and be a better shop for your customer, right? So it's what we all want. So, yeah. And then you process these payments so you see the profit. What I love, Jourdan, is with those, what do you do? A better business. And you talked about how you grew from across the street. And I'd love to hear that story and share it here in the webinar, right? About
Yeah.
how the
Yeah.
shop grew through time just by being a better business, right? So,
Yeah, I mean, well, my grandpa actually opened up directly across the street from us. He bought a gas station in 1967. And we built this building in 2005, literally directly across the street from where my dad grew up. And then my dad took it over in the 80s, and we kind of just grew from there.
that's just rewarding, right? It's part of history and you're part of your community, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. There's a lot of people that come in looking for my parents all the time, people that have literally watched me grow up that come in here and ask how I'm doing. And it's cool to see. It's cool to be a part of it.
to communities we serve, right? And I get out, I live in Mountain View, right? And do a lot for it. So
And it was kind of funny this year at the super conference because I was there. Jourdan was there as well, so I got to meet her. I ran into one of our best shops, which is Morrison's Auto Right, which is in Boston, where I'm from. And I found out after I got home that my parents used to go to Morrison's Auto Right in the early '90s. And Rob, who now owns the place, but at the time was the son of the owner, learned to service Subarus because my parents brought in the first Subaru to his shop. So it's just funny to hear those type of things where generation after generation, these businesses are serving the communities and customers really want to go back and their kids go back, and it's kind of creating these legacies.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, that is an awesome story. Thanks for sharing that, Matthew. And Jourdan, watching yours expand. And maybe that's where I appreciate both of yours time today and those join the webinar. And what we want to share is Express is really about sitting inside of your workflow to add convenience options for your customers, right? And that's the key takeaway from the webinar today that Jourdan and Matthew shared. Make it more convenient for your customers. The way it works is literally by putting a link from Express into your texts and emails. Right. And this is where, Jourdan, we heard from you earlier, you use Auto Vitals, or it could go out from Tech Message inside of Tech Metrics. We have that module, right? You can live in either of those. We have about, Matthew, about 40 integrations, right, that we support that put those links inside when you get set up. So we're pretty excited by that. But that's how Express works, right? And then in email, you get notified there's a payment, right? And then as Jourdan touched on, you use Tech Metrics, you just put accept payment, right? And it's tendered right inside of there for your bookkeeping, right? And I spent a lot of time with customers sorting that out. Maybe a piece of history is I was division CTO at QuickBooks. So I couldn't help but learn the back end there, right? So you made sure to all tie back together, right? And all the technical behind it. So I'm excited by that. So thank you, everyone. And just touch on Jourdan. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Matthew, a little bit of history there coming in, right? So I love that with Morrison. And just for everybody in the webinar, we tend to do it hosted style with a quick learning and insight, and from a service manager like you, Jourdan. So thank you so much. So,
Yeah, thank you.
awesome. And have a great day and appreciate your time. Thanks for attending.